please go subscribe to our YouTube page, Canadian Talk with Stephan podcast. We need you down there. Also, we have a website, Stephanjackson.ca, where you'll find the audio versions. As well, you can email us if you got a question or anything you want to see us talk about. CanadianTalkWithStephan@gmail.com.
Where did you get this? Where'd you get this mug?
What does it say on it?
Oh, that's French. Fuck it, it's French. You didn't get this mug.
No, and I didn't get anything. Everything I have, cups, cutlery, plates, forks, has all been either stolen or gotten for free off of Facebook Marketplace. I have never bought a household item.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Or I build it.
Girls are I'm so particular about that. Household items.
Oh, that's weird, eh? I mean, it's good. It's good that you like that you are particular about your nest.
Yeah.
But God, it's a little bit annoying. I mean, I just can't. What comes to mind for me is birds. Those birds where there's these beautiful birds of paradise. They're dancing around. They got little strings on their butt, and they just touch the female's face. It's
yeah.
And then the female's no, and just flies away, and she's just a gray blob. You know, it's just the woman's ability to get the choice in some species really makes the females, I don't know, less impressive?
Whoa.
Or what?
Less impressive?
Yeah, I mean, for birds especially, the females are always so much less impressive.
I'm not going to disagree.
Maybe for humans, too. I don't know.
The lack of effort on the female part when coming to the realm of birds is a little disappointing. Because the male has to do all these things. Dances and tweets and fun colors and flap of the wings. And the female just kind of gets to sit there and be like...
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. Maybe.
But, is the power of producing offspring enough to sit there and be entertained?
Yeah. It's a pretty huge power. It's a huge power. But there's also that big assumption, and it's true sort of amongst all species, where it's the female just kind of gets to assume that she's safe because the males keep them safe, or it's generally not acceptable for the males to just take them, take that choice away. Even though it's funny because that choice is ultimately an illusion. Males really have the choice, and they choose to not imprison the women.
Yeah.
And this is making me think of that whatever.com there with Andrew, the hardcore dude's wife. I think her name was Sandra. So Andrew Wilson and Sandra Wilson, or Sandy.
No,
Was her name Sandy?
I thought it was Rachel.
Rachel? Was it Rachel?
Yeah,
that made me think of them. Because she talked about how men could just imprison. If women were actually baby farms,
Yeah.
they would be in cages, or
Yeah.
whatever. And men could do that. That was a crazy video. Anybody out there who's watching... Oh, wait, did I press... Hold on, did I press record? Just a sec.
It's recording?
Yeah.
Thanks.
We're good. Sorry, folks. I'm not even smoking weed anymore. By the way, that's sort of why... This is for just the Patreon family here. This is Patreon 5 or 6, I think. Yeah, if you were wondering why we haven't done too many episodes most recently, it's kind of because I have been having chronic... Is it called bronchitis? No, it's whatever the coughing thing is. I've been having lung issues. So I've been a little sick, and I haven't been able to smoke weed. And weed is my comedy fuel. So I've had to kind of convert my lifestyle where I don't do marijuana anymore. So it's a different kind of a thing. I've lost my steroids for the podcast, so it's kind of I think I can still pump it, but it's a little bit more difficult. So that's kind of part of the reason for a bit of the break is I'm very sad in a sense to lose that from my life. I'm sure all the weed lovers out there who might be watching may have their own similar little tales with this, but I would say that my word to the wise would be, is that the right phrase? Word to the wise, word from the wise,
I thought it was word to
words
the wise.
words of the wise. My wise word for this would be, if you like weed, just do it like once. If you can manage to do it once a day, that's lots and that's good, but like don't ever get to the place where you're doing it like every couple hours, cuz it will eventually fuck up your lungs and then you won't be able to do it at all, or you'll have to take a long break so that your lungs can rebuild or some sort of shit like that. I always thought that weed didn't really do that much to you, but it does. If you do it too much, you will get lung issues, like not ones that hurt you, like they don't kill you, but it's like a debilitating thing where, because sleep is important, right? Like, so what my experience is that when you sleep, I think that your breathing is a little different, and you can't really like clear your throat. You can't do all those types of things. So what happened to me in particular was, I'd be sleeping, and after about 5 or 6 hours of sleep, which is kind of enough, but you'd like to sleep for 8 straight. But I would get a little gummed up, and I would wake up, and I would have to cough quite a bit to get my body ready to go and breathing properly when I would wake up. It was kind of like I was stuffed up or something like that. So sure, again, that's not a disease, it's not debilitating, but it is a thing that you have to like clock and be like, oh, okay, maybe I should change my habits to do with this stuff. Maybe this stuff doesn't do nothing like what Rogan convinced us all of.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's kind of why there was a bit of a gap in episodes, but we're back, we're ready to go. There'll be one every week now, every Wednesday. So if you're watching this, though, you're already on Patreon, so thanks for getting deep into us. But if you haven't already, you can subscribe on YouTube, and please like and comment on all the videos. Go to our social medias. We're on all the social medias. We want to talk about what you want us to talk about. So just comment and, fucking hate. Do whatever you want. And just interact with our show, and we'll read it. Okay? So yeah. Thanks for being here. So, and that's I think as best as I can do as my radio guy, professionalism, like the stuff that just needs to be said.
Yeah, sounded nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of hate that part. Sometimes I feel a little gross when I'm doing that part, when I'm like, hey, please subscribe. Because who doesn't do that is like the legit dudes. Like Gillis and McCusker don't do that. Vaughn does not do that. Rogan does not do that. Because it is a bit greasy. It's a bit gross.
Oh.
Because you're like, if people like you, they will like and subscribe. You don't need to tell them to do that.
Your mom's house does it at the end.
Your mom's house does it.
Yeah, they're like, if
now,
you
but that's a new thing. I think they only started doing that more recently.
Really?
Yeah, the whole smash that like button thing. That's like a thing. I think it's because it's like proven that it works. It gets people to interact more when you tell them to.
Yeah.
But it does feel a little gross.
Aw.
Yeah, feels a little icky. A little icky, sticky. But yeah, thanks for being here, people. I think the Patreon's like $5-6 a month. If you are paying that, which right now nobody is, we love you so much. We're going to send you a shirt. The first couple subscribers to the Patreon, we will send you stuff. I promise you that. If you like the show, we will send you stuff. That's my guarantee. Yeah. So yeah, we're kind of melting here in the studio. A little hot. It's not crazy hot. Like, we can't complain too much. But we got a fan going. We're surviving. Yeah.
The only fan we have.
We got our one fan.
We need to give it a t-shirt.
Let's put a t-shirt on it. Yeah. Oh my God,
Some
that was a
googly
good
eyes.
one. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh man.
Speaking of, not really a nice segue, but I want a Roomba.
You want a
I
Roomba.
want a Roomba.
Yeah. But
I think they
you don't
break
have
down
enough
so
carpet
easily.
really. Sorry?
I don't have enough carpet?
I don't think you have enough carpet really to make it worth it.
I do shave. But
the bathroom's up in another level. Roombas can't climb stairs.
Can't they do hardwood floors?
Oh
They
yeah,
can. I'm just worried they would break because
they break like crazy.
I'm not very careful when I make food. Like, to give you an example, sometimes when I cook noodles, like macaroni or whatever,
Yeah.
some fall to the floor. Do
Yeah.
I pick them up? No.
Well, that's what Roomba's for.
Do they swallow up noodles?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What's the biggest thing they can?
I think they swallow up most things. They do actually pretty good for they work just like a regular vacuum. I think they're actually quite heavy.
Really?
Like if you've ever seen a really high quality one, they're quite heavy, and they like put pressure down on carpets. They can do carpets, but they work best on floors. They run out of battery faster. Like I've thought about getting one so much, but they're not something, you know me. They're not something you can really get on the used market, because the ones on the used market, the batteries are shot.
Yeah.
So they can only they dock, and then they go out for like 5 fucking minutes. They can't even finish half a room, and they got to go back to their dock.
Yeah.
So they can't do a very big area.
Well, maybe when I get a house, I'll get a Roomba.
And they're
Probably won't be very big.
expensive. You know,
Yeah.
that's the problem. Is they're like for the lowest level one, it's like $600-700.
And that's the
you know,
low level one.
The low level one. So
Ah.
yeah. Oh, I got an earache. Oh, what else has been going on?
Dang Narbart. Everything and nothing all at once.
Everything and nothing. Yeah, we're coming towards winter.
I gotta go back
Hockey's
to work.
coming. Got to go
Yeah,
back
you
to
gotta go
work.
Play hockey.
Been doing a lot of golf,
Yes, you have.
which has been going pretty well.
Did you tell the fans about your almost hole-in-one in a lightning storm?
Oh man, yeah. I still haven't had a hole-in-one in golf, guys. I'm sad to admit. I'm almost a scratch golfer. I will shoot 77 from the tips. Like I will shoot 3-4 over from the tips. But I have never had a hole-in-one. But almost every round, I will put one past the hole on a par 3. I will put one to 3 feet for a walk-off birdie. But like I just can't seem to get that hole-in-one. Like I wish I could. You know, I have albatross. I have albatross.
Yeah.
Like so that's on a par 5, as you probably all know out there, where you do your approach shot. Let's say a short par 5, you drive it 300, or the wind is at your back, you drive it 320, and then you only have 150 left to the hole, and you pop it into the hole from 150 on shot. So basically an albatross is you get a 2 on a par 5, so it's 3 under. So they're actually worth more than a hole-in-one, because a hole-in-one is only worth 2 under. It's the same as getting an eagle.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So you...
Albatross is the hardest thing to do in golf, and I have gotten one of those. Yeah.
Really? Do we have
More
video
than one.
footage?
I've gotten more than one. No, there's no
Yes.
footage, but I've gotten more than one. Some people say that albatross is harder to get than hole-in-one, and it's worth more. It's worth -3 on the scorecard instead of -2.
Oh, wow.
But-
oh, yeah, because it's like...
3 under par.
Yeah.
3 under par. Yeah.
Ooh.
So, but I have not gotten that hole-in-one. Yeah, I've been golfing a lot. I've been crushing the courses this year. I still haven't gone. I haven't gone dash this year. I haven't gotten any under par scores this year on 18. I've gotten under par scores on 9.
Yeah.
But not on 18. So, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of golf this summer, which has been nice. Bless the gods. I mean, it's nice to have money to just kind of like do stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky in that way.
Yeah, you are.
That's why I hope for you. Like I wish I could like pay you more or something. You know, like if we can find a way, please guys, subscribe, make us some money for fuck's sake, so I can pay this homeless woman. Good Lord, I found her on the streets.
Yeah, you did.
And yeah, if I could
You
pay
took
her.
me in.
Yeah, I took her in. I let her live under my barbecue. She likes it because it smells nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it smells
And
like.
sometimes food drops.
Yeah, food drops and then she nibbles on
Yeah.
the crumbs.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yep.
I guess it's kind of nice being poor. I think if I'm
True.
like rich, like super rich,
Yeah.
if that ever happens,
Yeah.
you know, I don't.
Then you have
I'll look
something to
back-
lose.
I'll look back, yeah, and I'll look back on the times where I was poor and be like, I was so happy then.
Remember when I used to just sit out on the deck and read, and I knew it was
Ruined
all
my
I
eyes.
could do, and then and just loved it, you know. And but you'll be rich on some sort of a boat, and you'll be like, well, this is no better. And you'll be reading there, and it's like, what's the difference? I'm reading on a boat now
Yeah.
instead of on a deck. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
Well, I mean, the funny thing is when I became poor, right? I couldn't afford a gym membership anymore, and that's when I started running, and that's when I started losing the weight. So,
Yeah, running is the
like,
best.
you don't even need.
Yeah.
I ran even in the winter time this year, as
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
that's good. You know what's kind of
Like-
funny about jogging or running?
Yeah.
It is not a very old practice.
Shut up.
Did you know that? Jogging was invented like what I know we're 2024 now. Whenever I think of years, I think of like from 2000.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to say 50 years ago, but that's from like 2000. So now sure we're at like 70 years. Jogging was like invented in like the 60s or 70s. Did you know that?
That's ridiculous.
Like sure people used to run, but like they wouldn't do it regularly as an exercise hobby.
No way.
In the 50s, people wouldn't just go out running. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. Look. When was jogging invented? 1962 in New Zealand.
In New Zealand. Wow.
1960s. I told you.
That's
I told
crazy.
So, yeah, it's kind of like a new thing, but it's amazing how good it is for you. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like,
like
it.
it.
It's a part. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Pop jinx. It's a part of my exercise routine. I think it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Some people say that it's bad for your joints, but like, fuck that. No way.
I feel like I counteract it with my yoga.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, yoga can also be bad for your joints. That's the tough part. But I mean, like, they do it in Lord of the Rings. Remember when they're like running?
Yeah.
They're like, we gotta go find Frodo because they're trying to keep up with Frodo and Sam or whatever. It's like you never see, Strider with bad knee problems. You never see Legolas complaining about his ACL. You never see Gimli being like, "Oh, stop."
Shin
Well,
splints.
Gimli complains a lot. I guess
Aw.
Gimli complains, but he's a dwarf. So Gandalf, I guess, just rides his horse. Gandalf doesn't run that much. Hey,
He runs a little bit. Like
Yeah.
he ran.
he ran in the Hobbit
Yeah.
when
he
they were
did.
running through the Goblin caves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Run. Yeah, you know how many times Gandalf says "run" in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit?
How many times?
He says that probably more than like any other line. Every movie he says "run" at least like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
When they're trapped and he goes, "Run!"
Okay. New thing this New Year's.
Oh, we got to do like chug a whole beer
Wow.
each time Gandalf says "run."
Does he? Okay. Not opposed to chugging a whole beer.
Because it only happens 2 or 3 times in the movie, I'm pretty sure.
I was thinking we would take a shot and then.
I don't like
continue.
shots.
You don't like shots?
I don't like shots.
What's wrong with
Makes
you?
me feel like a
What?
low life.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like hard liquor.
Oh.
I don't like hard liquor.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we could chuck on a beer every time he says run.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can do a shot if you want, and I'll shotgun the beer.
Fair. I
Yeah.
don't know what I would.
Sambuca, Fireball,
Oh,
whiskey.
Fireball would be nice in the winter.
Never shoot vodka. Yeah. Any of those are good for shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can always shoot whiskey or rum, and just have a lime or a lemon to fucking throw in your mouth after.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the last Christmas. I had rum. Was it rum? Whiskey? I think it was rum in the house. Oh my goodness, it was so wonderful.
Yeah.
We had I like Diet Coke all the time, so it was nice to mix it. And of course, I'm on my holidays, and by then I'm just exhausted of kids and teaching and putting on clothes.
So you're having rum and cokes.
Yeah,
They're nice.
I did.
They're nice if you have ice. Ice is key. So you
Yeah.
got to get like an ice maker. Oh, can I tell you a story real quick?
Yes, I'm so excited to hear this.
I alluded to it already, so now's the time for me to tell you my story. So this is another segment of Canadian Talk here, where it's just on the Patreon. Where let me admit some illegal activity, because I do many illegal things, and let me tell you about the most recent one. So, and it's kind of nice because it's really like a corporate fighting back against the corporate fucking three-headed
Sticking
questing
it to the man.
beast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sticking it to the three-headed questing beast corporate fuckers. So, that was a Magic the Gathering reference to anybody out there.
For you nerds.
For the nerds that
Yeah.
won't be watching this anyway, because they'll be watching their technical podcasts
And
because they have more respect for
the
those guys.
furnace ones.
Yeah, I like to learn about HVAC,
The vents.
vents and tubes and electrical. How do I do the electrical? So I have an ice maker, and I love this thing. I got it for $99. It was kind of a jumbo sized ice maker, so a separate one, not in a fridge. It's just you kind of plug it in, and it's just like a self-contained ice maker. And I've only had it for like a year and a half, and it ran great. But like the way the tray was is the ice would always overflow into where it gets made. And like the bin was weird, and like there was these sensors. I didn't know where the sensors were unfortunately until after they broke. But the ice would kind of pile up, and then it would be near where the sensor was. And I believe that the sensor corroded and stopped working. And so it would always tell you that the ice tray was full when it wasn't full. So the sensor stopped working. And I try to call the company, which happened to be, let's leave the company names out of it and stuff. I tried to call the ice maker company, and they only had a helpline for their barbecues that they make. And they didn't have a helpline for their ice makers.
Weird.
So I'm like, fuck. So I called the barbecue line, because this is my first call. So you get ready. I'm going to explain to you the runaround that I experienced that led me to my illegal activity. I call the barbecue helpline. They say, we don't have that. And you'd think that they would have the fucking number for the ice maker helpline. It's the same company. They don't. They say, hey, call Canadian Tire where you bought it. And she just got, I guess the lady on the line just had a lucky guess to guess that I got it from Canadian Tire. I don't know. So I call Canadian Tire, like the location that I bought it from. And they go, no, we don't have that number. And by the way, each time I call one of these things, I'm on hold for 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so now I'm on the second call, calling Canadian Tire. Now I'm 20 minutes in. They say, we don't have that number. Call Home Depot corporate, like the head office. Or sorry, Home Depot. Call Canadian Tire head office. They give me the number. And again, they can't just transfer me. Like, why can't these people transfer you? Do people not know how to use phones anymore? Like, so I have to call again to Canadian Tire corporate. I wait on hold for a few minutes. I end up getting through to a lady. It sounds clear as day when I'm talking to her. It sounds fine. She goes, hello, and I go, hey, I'm just looking for this or that. And she goes, sorry, it's fuzzy on your side. You're going to have to call back. Bye. And hangs up. She just literally was like, I'm getting a lot of feedback from your side of the line. Sorry, I got to hang up on you. Bye. Like, she didn't even give it a chance to be like, okay, talk now, and I'll tell you if I can hear you. She didn't do any of that shit. So, and in the meantime, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to stain my deck. Like, I'm out working outside. I need some fucking ice water, and my ice maker's not working. Give me a fucking break, you know? And so I'm not even going to call this corporate office back once. Because this Canadian Tire corporate, all I'm calling them for is, hey, give me the number for another number that I got to call, which is the ice maker company. I'm just trying to find the number of who I call to tell them, hey, my thing is broken. I've only had it for a year and a half. How do I get it to work? Because it works fine. It's just a sensor that's causing it to not make ice. So anyway, I can't get shit figured out. So guess what I do? I go back to the Canadian Tire that I got this ice maker from. I buy another one. And they did not have the exact same ice maker that I had bought originally. It was smaller, okay? It was smaller. This one is like a 2.2 liter. My other one was like a 4 liter. So it's like half the size, water-wise. It makes still lots of ice, but it's smaller. But the box was kind of the same size if I was to take out... So I go and buy a new one. It is a different color. So mine is white, and the one that I bought is fucking silver. And so I buy but it's the same brand. And like I thought at first, I was like, shit, they only have the Frigidaire ones, and I was like, I was looking for the brand of the one that I had, but I ended up finding it, but it's completely different model, smaller, different color. So, but I buy it anyway. I'm like, fuck this, I'll buy it anyway. If it doesn't work, at least I got a new one, or I can just return it anyway. Who cares? And then I'll have to start potentially trying to repair the one that I have. But spoiler alert, it worked. So I buy a new ice maker. I take my old ice maker, I put it back in the box without the styrofoam because my ice maker was a little bit bigger, but luckily it fit into the box perfectly without the styrofoam. I put all the plastic back on this other one. I cover it with like the instruction manual so you can't, because it's heavy too, so you can't pull it out of the box to see that it's not silver. You can only see it from the top. So, and I put the instruction manual on top with all the plastic so you can't see that it's white. And I take it back and they accept it. So now I have a new ice maker. No issues. Fuck Canadian Tire. Fuck the company that made that ice maker that has a sensor that is apparently susceptible to corrosion when it's inside of the fridge thing, like the thing that makes the ice. It's inside of there. The sensor's in there.
Yeah.
Why would it be susceptible to corrosion?
Yeah.
Put some fucking like liquid stuff on there that protects the metal.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they thinking? So I pulled the wool over their eyes. I stuck it to the man. I got myself a new ice maker that hopefully won't break in 2 years again. So that is my illegal activity for the week. We'll see what I do for illegal activity next week.
I did some illegal activity myself.
Oh God, let's hear it. Well, although but these stories are pretty fucking soft compared to, the other week there where I had to pull a bow and arrow on a homeless person.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear about it.
So I had to go to a wedding in Banff, and I'm, as we know, poor. So instead of booking a room in a hotel for like $500 a night, I decided to go camping because I can rough it. There's showers and things I can get ready for this wedding.
Banff is crazy. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like Hunger Games, and it's like the capital. How can you ever... in what world can people afford $500 a night for a hotel room? How is that ever a thing?
Yeah.
Like, at $500 a night, to stay in a hotel, if you were to stay in a hotel room for a month, what's 500 times 30? That's $15,000 to stay in that hotel for 1 month.
Yeah.
In what world can somebody ever, not that you're staying in hotels for a month, but in what world is that affordable?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and the silly thing is the other cheap option we could have decided on was the hostel.
Mm-hmm. A hostel, yeah. I've stayed in a hostel before, yeah.
I haven't. And I'm so silly because I thought, I don't want to stay at the hostel.
Hostels are scary. There's like a movie about it. Like, have you ever heard of the movie Hostel?
No.
You've never heard of the movie Hostel?
No, I don't think
it's like a crazy... When it came out, it was regarded as like one of the most gory, gross, intense horror movies ever made.
Gory.
At the end of the first Hostel movie. I mean, I know that Saw kind of had the crown for a while. I think Saw might have come out after Hostel. It had the crown because the dude had to cut his own leg off. Yeah. And then there's 127 Hours where the mountain climber had to cut his own arm off.
Yeah.
But Hostel, at the end of Hostel, the bad guy, he kills the people that stay in the little hostel, right? Mm-hmm. He hung the tenant upside down, and like, you know how they do this to cows when they make the meat, like, and stuff. So he hung human upside down and cut their throat alive. Cut their throat and drain the blood out of them, and that was like in the movie. It was in the movie. They showed the whole thing.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Okay,
well, that's Hostel. So yeah.
Wasn't afraid of being murdered. I was just afraid of sharing a bathroom with strangers.
Yeah, hostels
are
always
being like
shared
out in the open.
Yeah.
And then my dumbass thinks that camping is okay. Let's just share a bathroom with more
same
people.
Thing. Yeah.
You know. But it worked anyway. Getting to the point of my illegal activity here, because I'm white, I have to pay to go in to parks. Fine, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
like park pass type thing.
Yeah, so the first night I go in there, I have no choice but to get my park pass because either I get a park pass or I don't go in and I don't go
Yeah.
to the wedding.
And how much is a
ruined.
park pass?
I believe it was about $20, $22.
$20
Yeah, for
just
just
to
like
enter nature?
yeah, for about
Oh. Oh.
24-hour
Oh.
type thing. I
What a
know.
joke.
And that's
That is ours. That's our country. How can they charge us to go in there?
yeah.
How is that a thing?
I wish you could prove that you were born here and then maybe get free access
Then you get
to
free.
parks. I
Remember
would
that
get
one year where they had free park
Yes.
passes?
When did that happen? Was that
Oh,
after
it was
COVID?
like right after COVID,
Yeah.
because they were trying to get people out of the house and stuff.
yeah.
For a full season, a full year, they had national parks, regional parks, where you couldn't camp for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
well, yes, you can camp for free if you're discreet about it and you do the backpacking thing.
Yeah.
But like the park passes were all free for one whole year. I think 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, I missed out on that year.
Yeah.
Anyway, go in with my daily park pass. And I like to do art on the side. It's like a little hobby. So I bought like these art pens when I went into Regina last. And I took one of the art pens and I turned a 7 into an 8. So I bought myself another day.
So you changed the date on the paper.
Yeah, well, I'm not paying to go back in there.
That's awesome.
It's just ridiculous.
That's awesome. I mean, and like, who's checking that anyway? That's why a lot of people don't even buy them. You know, that's the thing is, I guess you were super honest for even having bought one.
Yeah.
Like, I guess to stay at a campsite though, they're checking you. A hotel won't check you. But like, if you got to stay at a campsite, they may check you before you can get your campsite. Like, I
Yeah.
wonder. I think they check
But I
that.
couldn't afford to stay at.
Or at the
Yeah.
hotel, so you got to get the park pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's greasy. That's
Well,
such a
what's-
greasy trick.
What's even
But that was nice. Not what you did wasn't greasy. That's
Yeah.
greasy that they. Yeah.
Yeah. What's even nicer is I don't even think I'll pay for a campsite anymore, because no one checks,
Mm.
no one like looks,
Yeah.
and it's like
Just drive on in.
well now with my new vehicle I can
Yeah, you can
just
sleep in there and just
sleep in the back.
drive off the road somewhere
Yeah.
and just camp.
Yeah.
Like, it's better. Honestly, it's better too.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause campsites, like the ones that are actually like commercialized camping areas, they're usually not even in that cool of locations.
No.
Like, I've been to the Banff one. I know the one you're talking about. It's up on a hill. It's like, if you want to walk to the water or a river, it's a good jaunt. And there's people everywhere. If you do what you were talking about with the unit and just fucking park somewhere,
yeah.
you can park right beside a lake
Yeah.
and be all by yourself, naked, in the woods, just bingo.
Well, no one
you know?
wants to see that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about BC? And I'm curious if you experience the same thing.
Okay.
And it makes me feel like oh God, it makes me kind of angry. Because like, I camp here where I live in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And after June-ish, the bugs get crazy here.
Mm-hmm.
The bugs are horrible. Like, I'm talking debilitating.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even be outside-ish.
Yeah.
Like, if it just rained, you cannot be outside. I go to Banff. I camp in Banff. There's no bugs.
Yeah.
Where are the bugs in the capital? Why do they not have to have mosquitoes? You know? Like, that plays to my joke in episode 93. If anybody on Patreon hasn't seen my joke from episode 93, it's like, if atheists wanted to convince Christians why God cannot be real, exhibit 1, mosquitoes or black flies. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a ridiculous living thing that exists. God, if there was a God, he would not create mosquitoes. You know?
Why did he? That's my question.
Unless he's evil. He's malevolent.
Malevolent.
Yeah, remember we just learned that new word?
Yeah.
There's malevolent and benevolent. Benevolent sounds just as bad as malevolent, but yet it means that you're
Nice.
inherently good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So be careful.
learned a new word.
It's either a but or
Yeah. couple of book learners over here just learning new words in our 30s.
Well, that's all I do now is read on the deck because I can't
Yeah.
afford to go out.
Yeah.
Just look at other people going out.
Yeah, it's crazy how some people are so arrogant that, like, they think that once they're not a kid anymore, learning is done.
Oh.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, the better people that you've ever met are always the people who are happy. They're easy to talk to and teach, and they're always open to learn.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're teaching them something that they maybe already know, they won't tell you. they want to see how you will teach it to them, and then they'll learn it even better than they already knew it.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of people, in my opinion.
I feel like you can really tell if an adult has. Oh, I knew a cool word for plateau, but it's like stopped their learning.
Well, plateau is a pretty good word.
Yeah, but I've been reading this.
I learned that word from exercising. I used to think a plateau was like, like ice.
Yeah.
It's an ice plateau, you know? But then, yeah, in exercising, I learned about it. Whereas, like, did you know, like, when you do exercising and stuff like that, there is a plateau point. So, like, where you can only do so much where your body stymie.
Yeah, that means to prevent or hinder the progress of.
To stymie.
To stymie.
Stymie. That's a good word. You're fucking stymieing me. Yeah, I'm stymied. Yeah, I like that word. That's a good word. It's kind of a funny word.
It's kind of it seems like you're making shit up or pronouncing my last name wrong, but like
it does sound like a made up word.
Yeah, and it sounds
but it is one of those words like hip. You know, it's a word that means when you hear it, you imagine a bump. It's like it's such a perfect word. You know, it's almost like it creates a visual in your mind with what it's supposed to mean. You know? Isn't that weird how there's some words like that where they are so well crafted that it's like gosh, it's like one step better than music. It's like music are just people who use they stand on the shoulders of the people who've already invented the language to make these words sound so cool and eloquent with their meaning and their sound. You know? Like stymie. Stymie sounds like, oh, you just fucked me up.
Yeah.
It sounds like that. Just like hip sounds like a bump. Hip. Because P is like a letter that was invented that sounds like... it sounds like a something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a cool one I'll share with you later after the podcast. It means to like basically what's the word? Personal, like when you tell something false about somebody, like.
Oh, okay. Well, why you can't think of it right now? I thought you were about to say the one from that George R.R. Martin book. You love that word.
Okay, I feel like I almost got fired because.
Don't say it. Just don't say it though.
No, I won't say the word.
I know that it's like a loophole.
Yeah.
But don't say it still. Yeah.
But I checked every dictionary when I was at school for this
word.
It's
there.
Yeah.
It's there. But so is the word. Like the word without the little suffix. What do you call when it's prefixes at the beginning of a word, suffixes at the end of a word, where you add? It's when you take away the suffix, that word is also in the dictionary. It is. It's a word. It's a real word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Word is a word.
A word is a word.
Word is a word.
So, okay, with that, I think that's been about 30 minutes. We're going to wrap up on Patreon 5 or 6. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you so much for your $5 if you are one of those folks. This will be deep in the archives one day because I'm sure I won't even have 2 subscribers until I have 20 of these. Or maybe I'll still have none. But thanks for scrolling up to find this episode and watching the backlog of what we have to say. And
learning new words with us.
And learning new words. And talking in a very dog whistle way about racial slurs.
So that your learning won't be stymied.
Yeah, we don't want to stymie you. We want to enhance you.
That's gay.
Yeah, enhance is a gay word. For sure. Okay, well, that's Canadian Talk Patreon out. See y'all later. Please go subscribe to our YouTube page, Canadian Talk with Stephan Podcast. We need you down there. Also, we have a website, Stephanjackson.ca, where you'll find the audio versions. As well, you can email us if you got a question or anything you want to see us talk about. CanadianTalkwithStephan@gmail.com.